All right, just got done with obviously practice 12. We got 3 more to go. Give them Good Friday and Easter weekend off to be smart and safe. But really good day today. I mean, I think we got some good work in all the way up until the last period of the day. I thought, besides the tempo at times, defensive guys tackling offensive guys, I thought it was good. Had to throw a couple guys off the field for being too aggressive. But really done a nice job of taking care of each other for the most part. But we got a lot of great work done today. Probably got like 107 total plays in. Got a couple live periods at the end. Wasn't happy at the end, just in a 4-minute situation with just the operation and by coaches and players. But we'll get that fixed. And it's nice to have that issue in April. I guess it's April now finally, and again we got plenty of time to fix it. But we need more 4-minute situations. Questions?
I noticed Blue and some of the other receivers had these stickers on the top of their helmet. Is it blur on them? What are those?
I don't know. I think it's because they need glasses, and I don't think they see, so it's kind of blurry vision. No, they're trying to match the defense. The defense puts their takeaway stickers on their helmets, so blur means they made big plays, and I love it. I love that Coach Bell's put those on the helmets because it tells you who's made some big plays. I mean, you guys can walk in there on Tuesday and go, it's like because you forget, after 12 days what happened on day 1, but when you don't see anybody with the blur sticker on, they ain't made a play yet. So at least a big time play. So. Receivers' jobs are to make big plays, and again, we started off 4-minute situation, and you guys know what a 4-minute situation is. We want to, drain the clock. We'd like to end in victory formation, and we had a chance to get a blur, but the guy that had the blur, and again, when you throw an incomplete pass, the clock stops, right? And if you're going to trust that quarterback and that receiver to connect, then you better connect and keep that. Keep that clock moving, and we didn't keep the clock moving. We drop it, we get no blur, and put your defense in a bad spot getting into a 2-minute. So it's a 4-minute, 2-minute situation, but blur, I like it.
Those plays from Blue, are they more run after the catch or catches downfield?
I would say probably every one of those is a catch down the field. It's not I know last spring just one of his big plays was a catch and run, maybe even the spring game if I recall. An after the catch run, but those are all fades, posts, where he's, like the one you saw against whoever it was, North Carolina State maybe. So that was his big post against North Carolina State, I forget. But it was a few of those. Whether it's in 7-on-7 or a team period, Blue's made some plays down the field.
I wanted to ask about, we watched punting a little bit today, and obviously a bunch going off the roof. But what have you seen from those two guys so far?
I think it's good timing, or good. Their timing's a little off as far as just their hand to foot or get off, but I've been happy with both of them right now. I mean, there's a two-way battle going on right now, and really at the kicker spot too. I mean, both our kickers, have been outstanding. So really happy with where our kicking game is at this point.
Sticking with specials, how did they look on Saturday out of action?
The kickers, we'll start with the kickers. The kickers were 100%. They didn't miss one. And in the past, we've been, I don't know if we've ever been 100%, and again, we kick, they each get 6 in a row, and then we kick, occasionally during, but they were 100% field goal extra points. But in the 6-on-6 where it's live and our guys are coming after it, they didn't miss one. It was pretty impressive. We did have, one kind of block, but we got a re-kick because we had a corner off sides. Because he was jumping the snap trying to get a block, and he got a block, but you have to be on sides to really get one. So, but kicker's been outstanding, and I think, again, the punters, I wasn't happy Jersey 1 with the punters. Jersey 2, much better. They both look like punters. So we're just working on the speed of getting this, getting the ball in your hand. We want a total snap time of 2.0 from the snap to when the ball hits your foot. So we're just working on making sure we get below a 2.0 or at 2.0.
Jay Lee's spring been going?
It's been going good. He's hampered right now for a little bit. I don't know if we'll get him another day of spring. He was playing really well up into it. He's got an upper body, tiny little thing, but we don't want to turn a tiny thing into something big.
I wanted to ask about the defensive ends. That's a position the past 2 years you guys hit in the portal, but you didn't really this year. So, what's your comfort level with like Jimmy, Ghost, and obviously Crothers too?
Yeah, right now there's 3 starting DNs. Jaden Moore, Jimmy Scott, and Ghost, obviously. all three of those guys, keep them healthy. Those guys are good. Obviously, Carruthers is not going, so he'd probably be the fourth guy right now. But those young guys got to develop. I mean, every day you see spurts like Juju Anderson's got good pass rush at times. Just consistency for all those young guys. There's a good play and then a bad play. Okay, well, we can't have bad plays on defense. So just the consistency of the young guys, they just need reps. From Reston is doing a nice job. Just learning. He's learning every day. He's got a high motor. But we're happy with all those guys. Josh Pittman, again, another guy that's got a ton of talent. It's going to be really good. But they're freshmen. There's a lot of install in, and it'll just take time with those guys. So we're not disappointed in any of them. Actually happy with all those young guys. It's just going to be a matter of who's going to jump the other guy here as far as getting in that four deep. I couldn't tell you who the fourth end is right now in spring ball, but I know when Carruthers comes back, he's going to be a dude. But so it's good right now, but there's competition down below those top three.
Offensive line. We've talked a lot this spring about the Tino, the impression he's made, Coretta, BJ, some of those veteran guys you have coming back, but who's maybe starting to stick out in with the twos or even the threes as far as fostering depth is concerned? Any other offensive linemen just taking strides?
They're getting a lot of reps. I mean, we've got three groups working out there. I mean, it's not like I think some people are in spring ball are going with two groups. We're getting three reps. We got three sets, ones, twos, and a three, so they're getting reps. But I would say, Shep Turk's doing a nice job. Isaiah Montgomery's getting better. Got to be more consistent with his snaps. I can go on and on with each one of these guys. Jordan Fields does some nice things at left tackle. He's athletic. We got to put some more weight on him. He's still not putting the weight on we want. I'd say he's about 265. If he gets to 300 pounds, that guy can be a beast. There's some guys. Key at left guard with the twos right now is just he's learning the playbook, but he's shown spurts. John Kern, young guy. He had a trap block the other day and smoked somebody. He was like, oof. I mean, it's one good play, one bad play. Those young guys, that's why spring ball and fall camp are so important.
How do you feel that first group is meshing together, offensive line?
I think it's meshing together really well. I mean, Kendall Stanley, is obviously in that guard spot, but the rest of those guys, who they are, and I think they do a nice job. And just keep all those five out there at the same time would be nice. We've done that so far.
We've asked about him in the spring, but since we're talking to him today, just how has Tony Kinsler just kind of grown as a player, especially the past few weeks?
Tony does a nice job. He's had some nice catches the last few days. He started off a little slower and inconsistent, not making some contested catches, but he's made some big time catches, and his route running's getting better. And again, he's still a baby. I mean, TK just played really special teams for us. Got a few reps at receiver, but he's shown that he can be a really good playmaker for us.
You talked about the linebackers on Tuesday, but what specifically has Sanford and Ward been doing to really make their mark in that group?
DeMarco and Alex both have, again, number one, picked up the playbook because you can't play. I mean, you can be athletic. You can be Lawrence Taylor out there. If you don't know what the heck you're doing, it doesn't matter. Lawrence will be sitting on the bench. But, when you look at it, what they've done well is obviously the knowledge part of it, knowing what they're doing, and they're physical. I mean, Alex is unbelievable. I mean, both of them are really good tacklers. Alex shows some physicalness in the box that we really haven't had here in the last couple of years. I mean, he's a physical thumper guy that can also run. So, and then he's smart. So both of them, DeMarco's really good out in space, making plays. Played safety at his last school. So I'm happy with where those guys are.
Mason didn't lose a ton of football. He fumbled 9 times, I think in 9 games played last year. When he runs, are you coaching him to maybe be more selective in that, or is it just a matter of
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen him run a whole lot because he's throwing the ball, getting out on time. But he's got to be smart with the ball. He's Mason will be fine. He was a young guy, right? Last year, and he'll learn from those mistakes.
Anything else?
All right, guys, appreciate it. Happy Easter. Have a great week.
Tony, this is your second time going around through this. How do you feel just from a comfort level, just being around college football for a full season?
I feel super comfortable now, being here for a year and stuff like that, learning the ins and outs, being in the playbook more and stuff like that, and yeah.
What was the toughest thing as you look back to learn that you really feel like you've been able to capture this year?
Just the operation, but I've been in my playbook and stuff like I said, and I feel super comfortable now.
With only one of the returning starters back this year, does it feel like you're able to really go in trying to prove yourself to get one of those other starting spots?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, yes, indeed. I just, I take it day by day. I asked the older guy that did play last year, that started last year, I asked him for tips and stuff like that. Steady work on my craft and stuff like that. And just, like I said, keep taking reps in the playbook and just keep, grinding.
Outside and slot, where you've been working so far?
Outside.
Is that where you feel more naturally comfortable?
I feel comfortable everywhere, anywhere they put me, Just got to take advantage of my opportunities when I get put out there on the field.
What are some of the skills that you've been just trying to improve and work on?
I'll say be more physical because, I'm not one of those big receivers, just being more physical, getting out my routes and stuff like that.
We noticed the wide receivers that you guys now have stickers on your helmets like the DBs. You had 2 of them, so kind of walk us through how'd you earn a couple blur stickers like that?
Just being explosive off the ball, getting to people's toes, attacking their leverage, and just winning at the top of routes. Like I said, just being physical at the top of routes and stuff.
Whose idea was that to kind of bring that on? Was that Coach Laster or one of
Coach JJ?
Were they like big receptions where you kept run with the ball after the catch?
Deep balls, blur, yeah.
Tony, compared to last year, do you feel as a group you guys are getting more explosives? Like, do you feel like that's taken a jump this year?
Yeah, we're definitely more closer. I mean, it's a lot of young guys in the room, so we're kind of like relating more and stuff like that. Listening to older guys in the room like CJ and Blue, they got a lot of college experience. They're teaching us their ropes and stuff like that. Just all getting better, bonding.
We keep hearing about Dylan Wester. What have you seen from him that has stood out?
Oh, he a dog. That's he a dog.
Yeah, last year at this time, I think the freshman like Mason was kind of leading you guys on drills, and now he's the starting quarterback of the whole program. Has he always been that same guy from day one, and just how have you seen him grow as just like the kind of the face of this team?
Yeah, since day one, since he came in January, he used to always get work with the younger guys and stuff. We used to always throw extra and stuff at the workouts, winter workouts, and spring ball. He was just always trying to get better and find if he was to he used to always just try to get better. Like he's a workaholic. Yeah, he's a workaholic for sure.
Tony, Blue, I think, has 5 or 6 of those blur stickers almost covering the entirety of his helmet. Just what have you seen from him this spring? How has he looked out there?
He's looked very dominant, like I said, attacking people leverage, getting on people's toes, just being a dominant receiver, just winning.
It seems like he's got a pretty outgoing personality. What's he like to learn from, and what's he like in the room?
From Blue?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a cool guy. Like you said, he got a cool personality. He's funny. He's just like, I mean, I would want to take everything from him, his speed, from his work ethic, just being a leader in that room, just looking up to him.
When you look at this receiver room compared to maybe last year or last year's room, how would you just describe this one? What's different? What stands out about this room?
Is that we're young and we're all learning and trying to get better together, if that makes sense.
Anything else? Done? Okay.
Thanks, John.
Alex, we talked to Coach Narduzzi on Tuesday, and he said you and DeMarco were some of the top performers at the scrimmage over the weekend. I guess, what went well for you that day, and what's just kind of clicking for you during this camp?
I personally say what went well for me is just effort to the ball, and I think that's what's going well for all of us, not just at linebacker, but just as a defense, as a unit. I think we all just show relentless effort running to the ball, and that will make us perform better.
Alex, what's the process been for you just to learn this playbook? What's been challenging? What's helped you? Just how has that process gone?
I wouldn't say anything is pretty much challenging, only because by the end of the day, football is still football. So we're not gonna look at it any other way than what it is. But I personally say just taking it day by day though. Once we take it day by, or me personally, once I take it day by day, I can learn it. I can learn it better. I can process it better, and then I could just perform on the field.
You could probably have 5 guys who could potentially, start at this point in the linebacker room. How beneficial is it to have that level of competition and that level of talent in the room?
I think that's very valuable, only because it forces everybody in the room to work harder than what they are. You know what I'm saying? I personally feel like if the guys was bad, then it wouldn't be no effort. It wouldn't be everybody just be taking it like kind of like a snail, being slow all day, if that makes sense. If you see everybody else showing intense effort, it's going to make me want to go harder. It's going to make the next man want to go harder. You're going to make DeMarco, Bray, everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's going to make everybody just go harder than what they usually do.
You've been playing at the money linebacker position?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What do you just like about that position, and what's maybe different in this system compared to where you were last year?
What I like about this system is that we're on go, if that makes sense. Like at my the other places I was at, we was more patient at linebacker. We had to read step and we had to sit there for a little minute. In this defense, we get to just see what you see and play off of it, like right now. So I think that's what's pretty good about this defense.
Alex, is that something you think is really going to suit your game?
Yes, sir.
Has this been what you thought? I mean, when you make a change, there's some unknown, but has this been what you thought it would be?
I think it's been everything I thought and then some. Yes, sir.
Why so?
Let's say, well, I say that because the brotherhood camaraderie, if that makes sense. Like, I think my position group helps me perform at a higher level. And I think that's helps me become better every day, if that makes sense. If that answers your question.
How beneficial has it been to have Braylon Lovelace just kind of like guiding you and everything? How has he helped with your transition?
I think Bray helped me. I think Bray actually helped me really good. Like when I see Bray or when I'm around him, I'm always asking him about football. We always talking about ball. We talking about the last practice. Man, I messed up on this. Bray gonna give me some pointers. We're gonna go back and watch film. So I think Bray been real helpful. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Point about the unity, so tight, the camaraderie. How does a group like that with so much talent avoid letting egos kind of take over?
I think that start with our coach, Coach Bowen. Coach Bowen is a guy who's big on performing and just big on effort, if that makes sense. Like it's no ego when you love your brothers. If that makes sense. You know, we are brothers, not just a team. We're family. So like all that ego stuff is gonna be kicked to the side because we got so much love for each other. We want to see each other succeed. I want to see all the younger guys under me succeed. I want to see Bray succeed, and they vice versa for them. They want to see me succeed. So it's no ego into it when you want to see everybody win.
Is that something you felt when you first came to visit here?
Yeah. I felt you're gonna feel that from the head, Coach Narduzzi, all the way to who's ever on the bottom. Everybody want to see you win, and I just haven't seen anything different.
How unique is that, based on where you've been or friends of yours that play at other programs?
I wouldn't necessarily call it unique, because like every program wants to be a brotherhood. Everybody wants to be close. Everybody want to be connected. It's just we're bigger on our core values. You know, attitude, effort, toughness, knowledge. Like we big on that. We're more like I have never been in a program that was more big on it. So, you know, did that answer your question?
Go ahead.
I was gonna ask. I mean, obviously that first scrimmage, it sounded like the offense came out on top, and you guys kind of fixed some things.
Mm-hmm.
What's it just been like competing against that offense, and what are your impressions of Mason Mitchell?
Man, that boy Mason a dog. I mean, it's not too much I could really say about Mason because he's always coming in looking to beat the defense. And the defense is always coming in looking to beat Mason, looking to beat Boosie, looking to beat the offense, you know? So it's not too much I can really say about that. Mason gonna come in, put his head down and work, and he gonna be a leader at the same time while he doing it, so.
What's Jeremiah Marcelin like at that mic spot?
I'm sorry, say it again?
What's Jeremiah Marcelin like at the mic spot?
Woo! That boy a dog now, you know? I think Jeremiah at Mike is very good. He's a very vocal leader. He understands the defense. He understands what he want to get out the defense, not just from himself, but us playing around him, you know. But yeah, that boy Jeremiah, he a dog, for real.
Anything else? Alex, thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Alex.